Welcome to Builder Information Systems Video Learning Center. This training tutorial will cover the password module. The password module grants up to 4 levels of administrative control. In the Standard Edition, the system administrator can grant or deny access to each module and menu choice. In the Professional Edition, security is increased to the function level. And in the Enterprise Edition, the administrator can control user field-level access within forms. The password module also allows for password protection to be established for each user, as well as the option may be granted to allow users to change their password. Note that all tasks are performed by the administrator or a user with full administrative rights within BIS. To set a user's password and access security privileges, the user is first created. For details on this process, please refer to the brief tutorial on how to create new users. Once the user is created, select the Access link in the white area of the Administrator My Desktop folder, or go to Administrator and select Access in the menu. When the access form appears, type or select the user ID using the magnifying glass to the upper right of the user ID field. The user's name will auto-populate the field to the immediate right, and the menu folders will appear in the larger form area below. First, notice that all modules in the module chart in the upper right are unchecked, indicating no access privileges to those modules by default. You may also notice that user actions and user-defined fields may appear grayed out again, dependent on your edition of BIS. The example used for illustration in this tutorial is the Enterprise Edition. The plus button in the lower right will expand the menu folder tree structure, allowing you to view and individually select specific areas available throughout the menu structure provided by your license. The minus button to the right will collapse the menu folder tree structure. When a new user is created in BIS, the default is no access privileges. The commonly accepted IT strategy when setting up a user's access rights is to start with no rights and then add the user's rights as required. This is done first by checking only the needed individual module checkboxes in the module chart in the upper right. With the module initially checked, the user has complete access rights within the module. Note that when checked, the individual areas within the module will display a green marker, while areas without access will display a red marker which indicates access is denied. You may then allow or deny access to individual areas within each module by singularly selecting them in the tree structure and clicking the corresponding Allow or Deny button in the lower right. When one or more areas of a module are denied, the module chart will display a shaded box rather than a check. In the Professional and Enterprise Edition, BIS further allows you to set up user actions for add, edit, or delete within selected areas, as well as controlling the options to print, preview, export, and email individual reports in certain forms where applicable. To do so, select the area in the tree structure and make the desired setting change under User Actions in the upper right. Also in the Professional and Enterprise Edition, there are additional controls for user-defined fields which will allow or deny the ability to view and or modify the individual user-defined fields as well. The printer option in the upper right allows a specific printer to be selected for individual reports and printable forms for that user. To do so, select or highlight the specific area in the tree structure and select the desired printer in the printer drop-down list. Clicking the Global button provides a global user access that enables more specific user access control. For example, a user may need access to the entire system but only be allowed to view data, not add, edit, or delete, etc. Or an administrator wishes to create a separate administrative user ID with all global settings set to allow. Once the user's access settings are completed, click the Save icon or use Ctrl+S. The progress bar in the lower left will display the Settings Update Progress. Access Control. The Enterprise Edition provides additional security which allows user privileges to be set right down to the field level throughout BIS. This is done on the individual forms where access may be denied to Forms tabs and individual fields for individual users. As an example, we will look at Employee Master Records. Let's say we have certain BIS users that need access to some information in the Employee Master Records, but we want to have personal information like Social Security numbers and pay rates along with all other related information on the History tab unavailable to those users. As administrator, access the Employee Master Records form by selecting the Employee link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or select List and Employees in the menu. When the form appears, select an employee record as a matter of convenience. On the main tab, right-click on the Social Security number field. A pop-up list will appear. Select Control Access. The Control Access form from that field will appear with a list of users. Check the Deny Access box adjacent to the users you wish to deny access to and click Close. Do you want to save the changes? Click Yes. Now on the Default tab, we will repeat the process in all three pay rate fields, regular, overtime, and double time fields. Next, we will right-click on the History tab and select Control Access. We will repeat the process for the same users. Now logging in as one of those users, we will examine the results. On the main tab of the Employee's Master Record, the Social Security number field does not appear. On the Default tab, the pay rate fields do not appear, and you'll note that the History tab is grayed out and inaccessible. Copy Profile. The Copy Profile function in the lower right provides an optional time-saving method for setting up new user access privileges by copying an existing user's profile, which can then be further modified if needed. To do so, select the new user's ID to populate the access form. Then click the Copy Profile button in the lower right. A copy access prompt will appear with the user to copy to being the new user. Select or enter the user to copy from, then click Copy Access and the other applicable settings that apply for the new user. Note that there is an optional access control section available in the Enterprise Edition. Note the changes to the new user ID. The user's access privileges may be further modified if needed. The Reset Printer button will reset all reports to the default system printer, while the Reset Field Level Security will clear all the field level security settings for the user selected. Again, once the user's access settings are completed, click the Save icon or use Ctrl S. The progress bar in the lower left will display the Settings Update Progress.